He looked at him and said, son, you had an opportunity. You could have been part of the family. All you had to do was believe. You see, he had a memory of his complete life. He said, son, remember. You know how it is when you tell somebody something. When you say remember, it's not that you got to tell them what happened in their life. But if I look at you and say, remember that day that you said this? You're like, oh yeah, I remember that. See, he had that recognition. Not only of the things that happened in his life, but you know one of the other great torments is going to be in hell for all eternity? I believe that woman that I tried to tell about Jesus didn't want it. I believe she knows that I remember her. She knows. You know, sometimes we say, I wonder if God forgot about me. I wonder if that preacher forgot about me. I wonder if they forgot about me. But I guarantee you one thing, when you die, there ain't any doubting. When a person dies, there's no more question of whether hell is real or not. It only takes about a second. There's no question whether God is real. It only takes about a second. You say, well, Brother Bear, what if you're wrong? If I'm wrong, I've got nothing to worry about. If I'm wrong, please leave me alone. I'm enjoying myself. I love what God has done for me. You say, God isn't real. Well, I love what He did for me. I love what He's doing in my life. One of the greatest joys is to tell somebody about Jesus and watch them change in their life. Saw a gentleman get saved here Thursday, right here on this, got saved right there. Sat there on the pew. But raised a Baptist all his life, in his 50s. I said, well, you ever been saved? He said, I went up when the preacher said, if you want to be saved, come on up here. And something took place, but never changed anything. Just believe. Talk to the preacher, shake his hand. Oh, you're okay. You talk to the preacher. I can't help you if you don't talk to Jesus. I said, God done brought you this far. He wants to bring you way beyond. When he saw what he needed to do, I said, what are you going to do about it? Come up here and began to call on God and ask God to save her. I saw a gentleman walk in here loaded heavy, burdened out. And when he got up, began to laugh. Been smiling ever since. Been smiling. Right, Marty?
Yeah, it's there.
Oh, let me say it. Right, brother, Marty?
That's right, brother.
This man got saved Thursday afternoon.
Amen.
Walked in here with the world on his shoulders. You know what he looked? He said, preacher, I can't do it anymore. I've gone as far as I can. He's outrun everything he could outrun except God. And God took and corralled it all to that one point and brought him to this final place. He said, I believe God sent me here. I said, I know He did because He sent me here.
Yeah.
You know what he told me? After 54 years, he said, in all the years that I was raised a Baptist, nobody ever explained it like he did. And that's what gets me. It's our responsibility to tell people it's so simple to be saved and to know that you've been forgiven. And yet preachers are raising money, building things, getting a bunch of people in church, and never doing anything else about it. A lot of people in church, most people, it's a sad thing, but it's been recorded. There are more lost people in the church. About 80%, they say, of the average church is lost. Never having known the true mercy of God. They were like this rich man. They were raised religious. In verse 27 and 28, we find that he had a burden for others. He said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house, for I have 5 brethren, that he may testify to them, lest they also come into this place of torment. Now Abraham told him, I can't send Lazarus because God fixed it. This is why I don't believe in purgatory. It's because God fixed it where he can't go there and you can't come here. Once you're in, you can't get out. It will not change. Even if I would like to send Lazarus. Said, I can't. God fixed a gulf between this. That I can't. Like that old song, Squire Parsons, He came to me. The gulf that separated me from Christ my Lord. I couldn't get across it. But Jesus laid Himself across that thing to be my Savior. See, He had a burden for others. He probably knew that His brothers were like Him. They wouldn't receive two Lazaruses if they laid it at their gate. But you know what He said? He said, send somebody. He said, I'll tell you what. He said, take Lazarus and send him up there, because they'll believe if somebody rose from the dead. Because why? Why Lazarus? Because his brothers knew Lazarus. And he knew his brothers were not believers, because he said, Lord, send Lazarus to my brothers, because they're just like me. And if they knew Lazarus raised from the dead, they'll believe. See, he wanted a miracle. He had a desire for the supernatural. God said it's over. Let me tell you something. Hell and the fire is not supernatural. It's real. It's a real torment. What did He say? He said, no, we can't do that. He said, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded though one rose from the dead. It amazes me how many people are in church this morning and every Sunday and every week, several times during the week, that the only thing that they're looking for is a miracle. It's some supernatural happening. Oh, we got to go to church and see what's going to happen in church today. No, we need to go to church so we can worship God and let the preacher preach and let the Word of God speak to our hearts and encourage us and challenge us to go out and tell somebody about the Lord, lest they wind up in hell. You know, if you're here this morning and you're saved by the grace of God and you know it, your greatest desire ought to be to tell somebody else about it. To tell somebody else. We got people all across the internet, all across the radio, and all across the television. See, I'll tell you what, I have a secret that will make you rich. And all you need to do is send me $99.99 plus shipping and handling, and I will show you how to make millions. They all want to share some of their knowledge, but they don't want to share their wealth. Yeah. These people put things on there. Boy, I tell you what, Peter Popoff, we got this miracle spring water in this little plastic deal. You just rip the little thing off, buddy, you can sprinkle it where you want to, and it's a miracle spring water. Let me tell you something, folks. If I had miracle spring water, and if I had the money that these idiots have, I would take that miracle spring water and I would go to Terrebonne General Hospital and I'd put them out of business for all the money they cost me for my boys. I'd go sprinkle it in every room. Yes. I'd walk by the doctor and sprinkle him. Amen. I'd go find that Catholic monk that walks around there and I'd pour a bucket on him.
Really healing them.
Do something. Heal his brain, heal his mind. You say, Brother Barry, you shouldn't say that. He ain't telling them about Jesus.
That's right. That's right.
We had the power to heal just like Jesse and all them other ones that they talk about. They've got all this supernatural thing, all these preachers on TV. That's all you see. And they want you to send your tithes and offerings to them. Well, the next time you get sick, you call them to go visit you. They don't give a rip about you.
That's right.
They just want that check.
Yeah.
Like the Reverend Ike. Send your $1 today for some healing oil. I remember him saying that. All they're on there, boy, they got all the answers to all your problems. And the reason why you're sick is because you're not giving to God. So you need to send them money so they can pay their bills. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
You see them on there all the time. They're advertising that you're sick because you're not right with God. And they're sitting there telling you about getting healed. And they got glasses on. They got false teeth. They got hearing aids. And they got all kind of stuff that they're walking around with telling you that you ain't right. I don't want to be in their shoes when they stand before God.
Amen.
Why? I wonder how many people they're going to lead to hell believing all these fallacies. Let me tell you something. We need to preach about being saved. We need to warn people about hell. It's real, people. It's real. People say, well, what if it ain't real? I've got nothing to worry about. But if I'm right, you don't believe it, you've got eternity to be concerned about. See, there's a lot of things in hell, and I think there's a lot of things in hell that we need. We need a burden. We need care and concern. We need to have that desire and that zeal to warn people not to come to them.